Whatever you can do, or dream you can't, begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. The secret of being miserable is to have leisure to bother about whether you are happy or not. The cure for it is occupation. George Bernard Shaw. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. Robert H. Schuller. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Aristotle. He that can have patience can have what he will. Benjamin Franklin. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat. Winston Churchill. All men by nature desire knowledge. Aristotle. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Bruce Lee. There is no substitute for hard work. Thomas Edison. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. But the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Mother Teresa. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. Trust your instinct to the end, though you can render no reason. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The first man gets the oyster, the second man gets the shell. Andrew Carnegie. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Henry Ford. In the depth of winter I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. If you fell down yesterday, stand up today. Herbert Wells. Every wall is a door. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. Mark Twain. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Warren Buffett. Success is often achieved by those who don't know that failure is inevitable. Coco Chanel. Well done is better than well said. Benjamin Franklin. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Inspiration comes of working every day. Charles Baudelaire. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Albert Camus. Life doesn't require that we be the best, only that we try our best. H. Jackson Brown, Jr. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Seneca. Patience and diligence, like faith, remove mountains. William Penn. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. Inspiration does exist, but it must find you working. Pablo Picasso. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. I had rather be first in a village than second at Rome. Julius Caesar. My life didn't please me, so I created my life. Coco Chanel. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Helen Keller. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Confucius. Plans are only good intentions unless they immediately degenerate into hard work. Peter Drucker. It's lack of faith that makes people afraid of meeting challenges, and I believed in myself. Muhammad Ali. Intelligence is the ability to avoid doing work, yet getting the work done. Linus Torvalds. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Albert Einstein. Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, so most people don't recognize them. Ann Landers. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. Benjamin Franklin. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Henry Ford. It is better to light one small candle than to curse the darkness. Confucius. I learned the value of hard work by working hard. Margaret Mead. Without labor nothing prospers. Sophocles. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Aristotle. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Albert Einstein. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Leo Tolstoy. You never fail until you stop trying. Albert Einstein. If you wish to be a success in the world, promise everything, deliver nothing. Napoleon Bonaparte. Glory follows virtue as if it were its shadow. Cicero. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. Mark Twain. Iron rusts from disuse, water loses its purity from stagnation, even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. Leonardo da Vinci. Everything you can imagine is real. Pablo Picasso. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Stephen King. Difficulties mastered are opportunities won. Winston Churchill. Personally, I am always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. Winston Churchill. Wisdom is not a product of schooling but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Albert Einstein. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn. He who wants to get to the source must swim against the current. Stanislaw Jerzy Lec. Real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present. Albert Camus. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated. Ernest Hemingway. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Albert Einstein. The best preparation for good work tomorrow is to do good work today. Elbert Hubbard. To be great is to be misunderstood. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Confucius. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. Success doesn't come to you. You go to it. Marva Collins. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. Do your duty and a little more and the future will take care of itself. Andrew Carnegie. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Plato. There is no failure except in no longer trying. Elbert Hubbard. Impossible is a word to be found only in the Dictionary of Fools. Napoleon Bonaparte. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. George Bernard Shaw. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Helen Keller. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Henry Ford. One machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men. No machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. Elbert Hubbard. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do you if you do not act on upon them? Buddha. A dream doesn't become reality through magic, it takes sweat, determination and hard work. Colin Powell. Do your work with your whole heart, and you will succeed, there's so little competition. Elbert Hubbard. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Benjamin Franklin. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. William Shakespeare. Better than 1,000 hollow words, is one word that brings peace. Buddha. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration, the rest of us just get up and go to work. Stephen King. If you can't fly then run, if you can't run then walk, if you can't walk then crawl, but whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King. The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. Walter Bagehot. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Buddha. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. Leonardo da Vinci. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Elbert Hubbard. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Lao Tzu. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. Theodore Roosevelt. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Aristotle. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson.